For a while now, Emma Chamberlain has been trying to break away from her influencer image and step into a more mainstream celebrity path. She somehow managed to take herself from posting mundane vlogs and being a part of the Sister Squad to going on to hosting the Met Gala, being an ambassador for Louis Vuitton, signing an exclusive deal with Spotify for her Anything Goes podcast, and being the youngest global ambassador for Lancome. It's safe to say, Emma is one of the YouTuber success stories when it comes to breaking free of that influencer image, and that's not an easy thing to do. It's extremely hard to leave behind what made you popular in the first place and actually have a dedicated following that will stick by you no matter what, and that's what Emma made for herself. A lot of her fans have been extremely understanding when it comes to her reasons for stepping away from YouTube and weekly vlogs. Last year, Emma opened up about burnout and not feeling inspired to make videos anymore. She wanted to take a step back and only post content that felt more meaningful to her. She shifted her focus to her coffee company and her podcast and growing her career outside of that influencer bubble. But this change hasn't come without some criticism. There are some fans that think Emma is no longer relatable, and that's the whole reason she blew up in the first place. When Emma did her house tour with AD last year, a lot of people started to say that she lost her relatability.
Don't get it twisted, Emma Chamberlain is the most unrelatable 21-year-old out there. This whole new house tour is part of a very big rebrand for Emma Chamberlain's brand. She's gone from this very typical LA influencer style house to another very typical LA influencer style house, but this time it is brand all over it. It's the Emma Chamberlain coffee brand. And you know, it's a PR move, but a lot of celebrities do that. I just couldn't help watching the video and not thinking that every second sentence she was trying to sound super relatable, and that just wasn't the case. That's just not the case in real life. Don't fall for it. The video was expertly crafted to skate that fine line that she always does between relatable and mega rich millionaire 21-year-old. What about this $100,000 table is relatable? Or this $31,000 chandelier? Or this 50,000 pound couch, which in US dollars is like $100,000?
But fans fought back and said the thing that makes Emma relatable was her openness and vulnerability on her podcast, not her house or her material possessions. Emma recently did an interview with New York Times, and when the question was posed about her no longer being relatable, this is what Emma had to say. What is relatable about a person is the way they see the world. That's changed with age, but not because of my career. I am the same I've always been. And guess what? People who have one follower on Instagram, there's no difference between me and those people. I think a lot of celebrities don't feel that way. There are some who have this experience and they feel immortal, unstoppable. I know that's not true. I may have some life experiences that other 21-year-old girls might not, but that 21-year-old girl has experiences that I've never had. Also, I don't feel like I 100% fit into this whole industry. But something happened this week which made people accuse Emma of being extremely out of touch. Someone tweeted a picture of Emma's merch site showing she had an option to buy a personal DM from her for $10,000. It even showed the option to pay for the DM in $900 installments like you're paying rent or something. The person who discovered this option tweeted about his discovery, writing, "Selling a personal thank you Instagram DM for $10,000 is not only unfair to Emma's fans, who likely don't have the financial means for that, but it also raises concerns about the state of the creator economy as a whole. While it's understandable that creators need to monetize themselves, charging such an exorbitant amount for a literal DM seems to be a clear indication that some creators have lost sight of the value of their fans and the community they've built." But a lot of Emma fans were like, no, there's no way Emma would actually have this as an option, and some of them even recalled it being a joke and claimed Emma even talked about it being a joke on an earlier podcast. It's a joke, it's not real. She said it in the past before. The cost is high on purpose. But that doesn't really make much sense, and you actually couldn't even find the option to buy the DM without having a link that took you there. Still, people were starting to call Emma out of touch, and if that's true, then rightfully so. Here's what people had to say. Not Emma Chamberlain charging $10,000 for a personalized Instagram DM. Her fan base is mostly young women and children. Who is paying for that? She's literally so out of touch with reality. It's so funny. Who does she think she is?
I can't stop thinking about Emma Chamberlain having an option in her merch shop to buy a personalized DM from her on Instagram for $10,000. I'm being so serious too. Like, you can literally look this up. But don't worry. I mean, if you still want a DM from Emma Chamberlain and you don't have $10,000 to spare, they have Afterpay. It's only $902 a month.
And this went on for days. Emma wasn't addressing anything, and the story started to spread, leading to Emma's merch shop being taken down and put under construction. Now, normally when something like this happens to an influencer, you usually see them go on their Instagram or something and directly address their fans. Emma built her platform with her fans, and these people got her to where she is today. So you would think the easiest and most direct way to address the situation would be to post an explanation on her Instagram. Well, Emma actually went to E! News to address the rumors. E! News wrote in an article, "Emma is eager to set the story straight," she said in an exclusive statement to E! News on March 21st. A few days, I started seeing comments asking why I was selling a DM for $10,000. I assumed this was an online scam, as I've never offered to sell a DM for any amount of money, let alone $10,000. People were saying this was for sale on my merch site, so I checked the site to see if it had been hacked and couldn't find anything out of the ordinary. After doing her own digging, Emma says that she reached out to the company behind her merch website to look deeper into the matter. I immediately got in touch with my merch company Kozak, who further investigated and put the site under construction while looking into the issue. I know Emma is trying to get away from her influencer image, but I do find it strange that she went to E! News to address something that probably would have reached more people if it was done on her own platform. How many Emma Chamberlain fans are actually going on mainstream news sources to check for updates on her? I feel like this statement could have easily been an Instagram story, and like I said, it would have actually reached the people who follow Emma and know about this story. These rumors went on for days before the statement even came out. Like, so many people probably still think Emma is actually charging $10,000 for a DM because no one is gonna see this statement. Emma's merch shop Kozak also issued a statement directly on the landing page of her merch shop, and they wrote, "There have been false and inaccurate claims that Emma Chamberlain was offering DMs in exchange for $10,000. As background, in 2018, Kozak, Emma's merch company, was testing a prospective reward program related to Emma's merch without her knowledge. In testing, they created an outrageous, never activated reward level that was not intended to be active or purchased. These reward ideas were never run by Emma since they were not meant to be available for sale or reward, but simply intended for internal testing purposes. What we suspect is that data was activated and crawled by Google's SEO indexing system and discovered by an individual who then began spreading false information to press outlets. This was never made public and certainly was not planned to be sold or purchased. The test program was never discoverable on the main page or product listing site, which is another reason that Emma had no knowledge of this. With the internet's tendency to create false narratives around sensationalized stories, we wanted to provide you with the truth firsthand from the source. This site is currently down for internal review. I think a lot of fans of Emma who know her character know that Emma would never charge that much money for a personal DM. This was the merch company's fault, and the way they worded their statement kind of felt like they were trying to blame people for questioning it. They're the ones that had the option listed. They're the ones that inserted $10,000. So don't say the internet's tendency to create false narratives, because it wasn't actually false. The option was there, and that's what people are gonna think, because why wouldn't they? Kozak should have just stuck to their explanation and apologized for creating any confusion and left it there. This whole thing was such a mess this week, and I do think this could have ended the day it happened if Emma just came on her own platform and addressed the confusion. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.